Hi, ladies and ladies. Hi. So, like, what's going on, y'all? Okay, let me just go ahead and rant. So, as you know, I don't even need to introduce it. Like, I'm gonna be talking, and I'm not gonna really stop. I never do stop. But, y'all, so let me start at the beginning. This is about my job, and it's not something that it didn't like actually piss me off. It's just kind of annoying that happened. Anyway, you'll see. So, my job does this thing where every 90 days, they do this incentive where if you go the full 90 days without calling out a single time, no excuses, like even if you call out and you're sick and you go to the doctor and come back with a note, that still counts against you. So, unfortunately, it's like a very strict thing. So, no calling out. I'll say that's kind of weird. Just real quick. I'll say that it's kind of odd because I feel like it kind of promotes, like coming in when you're sick or something. Like, you know what I mean? I kind of don't like that. I've never, like, even in school, I've never really liked the thing of, like, the incentives that they have for, like, attendance, because it's like, there's some kids that are never, like, especially in school. I know with jobs it's different because it's like, who cares? But, like, in school, there's some kids that are never going to get, like, whatever the incentive is for, like, not missing any days. There's some kids that are never going to get that because they're like chronically ill, or like they have, you know, transportation issues or family issues or something, like, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of weird. And then I feel like with the job too, especially with us working at a hospital, the flu goes around. It's flu season right now. COVID goes around. Everything goes around. And it's like, if somebody was like real struggling and they're like, I need this $300, that's what the incentive is. But if somebody's like really struggling and they're like, I need this $300 like bad, so I'm going to go into work even though I kind of have like a fever or something because I can't afford to call out. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of funky. It's like whatever, because I feel like it's on you if you were to do something like that. But at the same time, I understand your motivation. But anyway, guys, what I'm saying, the rules are that you cannot call out. You can't be late more than twice. So if you're going to be tardy, you can do it twice, and that's it in 90 days. And another thing, you can't have any like write-ups, like, you know. And then another thing is that we have this website that we are like required to get on. And you have to like engage on the website, which just means logging in and like clicking some buttons and doing some stuff, whatever. And you have to keep your engagement score at 100, which is super easy to do. So it goes every 90 days, and it's not like, it doesn't start like for one person specifically, like, oh, I called out June 1st, so it'll start over for me, and 90 days from now is when I can get it. It doesn't work like that. It starts like every 3 months. So it's like January, February, March. That's a full, like, if it is 90 days, like whatever the 90-day mark is, it's like that. So it's like, so I've kind of known about this for like a while at my job, but I haven't really cared. I don't care about my job at all, actually. But I just mean, like, I used to call out a lot. I'm not going to lie. Like, sometimes I wouldn't even be sick. I'd be like, I don't feel like going in today. I'm going to call out because I don't like being there. What? But I started thinking about it. I was like, y'all, I could use that $300. I was like, please. I want that. I need that. I desire that. So it started over whenever I got the motivation to like really lock in for this 90-day thing. It started October, November, and December. And mind you, the last time I called out might have been in like July, maybe August. I think I called out in August. So I'm like, all of September I didn't call out anyway, but that didn't matter because that wasn't part of the 90 days. But anyway, so I was locking in for October, November, and December. And I made sure that even on days I wasn't feeling like going in, there would be days I'd be like, oh, I just want to just sleep in for a little bit, go home early, whatever. I would go home early a lot. I actually took advantage of doing that. I went home early on Thanksgiving. I went home early on Christmas, even though my bosses told me that I couldn't go home early on Christmas. And guess what I did? I went home early on Christmas. So leaving early doesn't count against you, because as long as you show up and you're there for at least a little bit, you can leave early. Like, the only thing that it would count against you would be, like, your hours, right? But anyway, so, yeah, I left early, like, a lot. I would text my boss on Christmas. Okay, let me also say this. I'm not lying about this. In 2025, this past year, I started my period on Halloween. and then Thanksgiving, and then on Christmas. Who does that to a person? Oh my God. Who does that? Who even makes that a thing where I can, what? Like, the 3 holidays at the end of the year, I'm starting my period? Like, that's really crazy style. So, I'm not joking. Thanksgiving, I went home early because I was cramping bad. Literally, like I worked half a day, but I was also like, it's a holiday. Nobody's even here except for like me and a couple other like CNAs. You know what I mean? Because obviously, holidays, the majority of the hospital doesn't work. But I'm an essential worker, so I can't do that. So, because somebody got to clean up. Even on a holiday, somebody has to clean up after they dookie all over the place, right? So, I'm going to take my shoes off. Hope that's cool with you guys. But no, so I went home early and I texted my boss and I was like, hey, can I go home early? Like, I'm cramping real bad. And I was like, I did everything I need to do. My job is completely done. I could be, in terms of what I have to do at my job, if I really wanted to, I could be done by like 12. But then the only thing really stopping me, sorry, I'm so close to you guys. Hi. Taking my shoes off. Shoe reveal. Ooh, these are big. Y'all, my feet are huge. That's crazy. Anyway, the only thing stopping me from leaving at like 12 is because I have to wait for me to do the last like final task. If I were to finish everything before 12, I have to wait on the residents to finish eating. So they don't usually finish eating. Sometimes they don't be done until like 2:00. So I have to just wait around. Even if I'm done with all of the other rooms and the side work that I have to do and everything, I still have to wait on them to finish eating. So sometimes I could be there until 2:30 whenever the CNAs come and they pick up their food trays, so I can wipe down their tables and sweep up around them, because I'm not allowed to be cleaning while they're eating, obviously. So that's the only thing that's really stopping me. But anyway, Thanksgiving, I texted my boss and I forget what I said, but I was like, I've done everything I need to do. I was like, I'm cramping. Can I go home? She never responded to me, but I went home. And I got like the majority of my day. Like I think it was like 5 hours or like 5.5 or something. Like my shift starts at 7 and I left at like 1:00. So it's like, I was fine. Plus on holidays, we get time and a half. So if I work half a day, I'm fine. Right? So hold on, where was I? Okay, so that happened. Left early Thanksgiving, cool. And then Christmas, the exact same thing happened, swear. I texted her and I was like, I'm cramping, can I go home? Or I didn't say, can I go home? I texted her that morning because I started my period. So I was like, I really was cramping. Like I'd be calling out for no reason sometimes because I just want to go to sleep. But for real, I was cramping bad. Like, okay. Because the first day of my period is when my cramps are the worst. Like, the absolute worst. So yeah, I was like hunched over my steering wheel, like driving home. I looked stupid, but I was getting home, but whatever. So I texted her that morning and I was like, hey, like I can't make any promises that I'm gonna be able to stay all day, but I'll try. I didn't try. Immediately after lunch, I went home. Period. But what's funny about that is that I had mentioned it to them a few days before Christmas. I was like, for Christmas, I was like, can I go home early? And I was just playing. I wasn't really intending to, but I was hoping that they would like maybe say yeah. Because I was like, I worked on Thanksgiving. I'm working on Christmas Eve and I'm working on Christmas. Y'all should like, dang, just let me go home early. Dang, like y'all are so annoying. Y'all want to see me so bad all the time. So, but they said no. They were like, no, you can't go home early. I was like, whatever. But guess who did go home early? And nobody has said anything to me about it at all. So I'm like, period. Like, yeah, I know that's right. So that's that. And then I'm trying to think. The only other absence I had was when I went to MEPS, December 2nd. And then the day after that, I was already off anyway. So, or maybe I went I don't know. Yeah, December 2nd and 3rd, I think is when I was at MEPS. But I was already off the next day anyway. So here's the thing. I didn't call out when I went to MEPS. I came to them like a week or so before MEPS, and I gave them the note that came from the United States Army, and they were like, oh yeah, that's like obviously, it wouldn't have counted against me anyway because it wasn't a call out. It was an excused absence. So that's completely different. So that didn't count against me. And then the only other thing, I left early another day for a doctor's appointment. But again, I left early. That's not tardy or calling out. I left early and I came back with a note from my doctor, my dermatologist. So get into that. So I'm like, and then on top of that, I have never once been late. And that's another thing that's important about the incentive thing. I have never been late since I've started working at the hospital. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie. I can't think of any time. I've worked, started my first job when I was 16. I worked at Stacks. And then I worked at Huddle House 2 separate times. I quit and then went back. So I worked at Huddle House, and then I worked in HR at the hospital, and then now I work as a housekeeper at the same hospital. And the whole time, I really can't think of any time I've ever shown up late to a job. Ever. And if I have, it's been like once at like maybe each job, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do not show up late. I'm not somebody who's late. I will be a half hour early I'll be an hour early somewhere before I'm late. I do not play about that at all. Like, I'm serious. That's something I genuinely like pride myself on that, because I'm like, I can't stand y'all. Oh, I'm always fashionably late. You're annoying as fuck. That's what you are. You're not fashionably late. You're just annoying and stupid, and you can't be on time because you're dumb. That's on you. Sorry. I understand, obviously, if like a full-on emergency happens, you get into a car accident, like, duh, like, don't be fucking crazy. I just mean, like, if you're the type of person that's like, yeah, like, everybody knows that I'm always late, so they have to tell me, like, to get there an hour before they're expecting me there, you are literally annoying. I'm sorry, but that's crazy. If you don't know how to wake up, and you know what, I'm not even going to go on this rant, because I already went on the same rant when I made my pet peeves, video on here, while I'm talking about my pet peeves. It's kind of an old, not like an old video, but it's like from a few months ago. So I'm not even going to get too much into that, but you know what I'm saying. Don't be late. Just be normal. Jesus, y'all. Anyway, sigh. Not my recruiter texting me. Hi, it's 7 p.m. Not yet. I might have to call. Bye. He texted me talking about hello. Any answer? No, I haven't. Okay, so quick little side note. Update on my Army recruitment. I needed a different note from my dermatologist. I'm not even going to get too much into it. I need to finish talking about what I'm talking about. So I need a different note from my dermatologist, but I emailed them asking for it, giving them all of the information that I needed to have included in the note before they can send it to the people at Fort Knox, because I'm like, my recruiter wouldn't accept the first note because it was like, it was barely anything. It wasn't right. And I sent it to them like Monday. I sent them the email on Monday, and today's Wednesday, and they haven't responded. So I'm like, just send me a note, y'all. It's like not hard to even type up, whatever. Because I'm like, I don't want to have to go in there for an appointment. You people are so annoying. Anyway, sigh. I've been saying the word sigh a lot recently. I think it's funny, but what was I saying? Okay, I've never been late. I'm not late. So, and I haven't gotten written up. I know I did get in trouble for wearing my hoodie that one time, but I think that happened back in September. So I don't even think it was part of the October, November, December thing. But either way, it wasn't a write-up. I had to ask my boss to clarify. It was not a write-up. So that's that. And so I'm like, so yeah, I've kept my little engagement on that website that we use up to 100. So I've had everything perfect for the past 90 days. I have fully made sure to do that. Like, I went to a concert and I knew that the next day. So, okay, yeah, I knew that the next day I wasn't going to want to go to work. I probably wasn't going to be able to go to work because I got back home at 3:30 in the morning. So before the concert, I made sure to request off, and I used my vacation time for that day, for the day after the concert, so that I could come home and sleep in and wouldn't have to be going to work. Because then I definitely would have had to call out because I'm too tired. So cool. I'm like, I was thinking all this stuff through. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not calling out for these 90 days because I will be getting, the incentive is $300. I know I mentioned that earlier, but I'm like, I will be getting my $300. I don't care. Cash, check, wire it to me. I do not Cash App me. I don't care. I'm getting my money. So the other day, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. Tuesday, I think. Yeah, Tuesday. I go down into the basement where my bosses are. And I have like 3 bosses, kind of. 2 of them are in one office and the one is in the other. Like, the director is in his own office, and then the supervisor, and then kind of like a manager they're both in one office together. So I went down into the basement, and I jokingly, like, I just went in there messing with them, and I was like, y'all, so where's my money? I was like, is it going to be a check or cash or what? Like, where's my money? I was just playing, but at the same time, I was trying to figure out, like, when is it going to come to me, you know? And I know that it's not on my bosses to give me the money, because they don't even do payroll at all. Or, like, they do, like, payroll, but I just mean, like, they don't hand out checks and, like, deposit the money into my account themselves, you know what I mean? Like, they just do, like, the hours, and then it goes to, like, the payroll people. So I knew that. So I knew I wasn't going to get it from them, or at least I didn't think I was going to get it from them. But they talked about I didn't qualify for the incentive. What? Yes, I did. But I'm like, I absolutely did. Because I know that I haven't called out. And I've never been late. That being late wasn't even something I was worried about. Because first of all, I could be late twice if I wanted to, and I could still apply for qualify for the incentive. So that didn't matter. But I'm also like, I don't be late anyway. So that's not even a thing I need to worry about. And the engagement on the computer, that's not something I need to worry about, because I'm always on there doing it, whatever. So I'm like, y'all are messing with me. Like, this is so not funny. But they're being so dead serious. I sit down and I'm in there for like 10 minutes. My bosses, they're looking through their like calendars. She's looking through her text. She's pulling out paper from her desk and looking at this, that, and the other. She's like, she keeps saying over and over. She was like, no, you did something, like swearing up and down. She's like, I know that you did something that like made you not qualify for the incentive. Like, something happened. I just can't remember what it is. And then she's asking my other boss, talking about, do you remember what it is? And she's like, no. She's like, were you late more than twice? And I was like, please don't even. It honestly bothered me that she even said that, because I'm like, not only have I've been saying over and over, I have not been late in 90 days. I've never been late ever. I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying to you. I'm not. That's not something you have to worry about. I clock in every day. Stop. Y'all, I'm being rage baited, and this already happened. Okay. So I'm like, he's talking about, all right. So, sir, it is 7 p.m. Go and like take care of your children. Like, what? He's talking about good night. I'm loving it. Good night is so funny. Like, why is my army recruiter telling me good night? That's hilarious. What am I saying? Okay. So it was bothering me because, like I said, I'm sitting there and I'm like, y'all are gonna tell me an answer. Like, you're gonna tell me what I did, when I did it, when it happened, what time, where's your proof of whatever it is that happened. Because I'm not playing with you right now. Because I know for a fact. I'm literally not messing with y'all at all. So they're looking through, and she said there was this one day, the day that I mentioned that I left early and came back with a note. I sent her a picture of the note just because I figured it would be easier, because a lot of times when I get the paper, I just like, I don't know, it's easier to just send her a picture. And I sent it to her right when I got the excuse. So I keep getting distracted by my phone. I'm sorry. So I sent her the note. Mind you, I had been at work for like at least not even a half a day. My shift is over at 3:30, and I think I left at like 2:00. So I'm like, I barely missed any time in my day at all. Come on. So I sent her that picture, and she shows me the picture, and she's like, when you sent me this, she goes, I thought you called out that day. I didn't. What? I'm like, so here's my thing. That happened December 11th, because the reason I made the dermatologist appointment was because I went to MEPS. They disqualified me, needed to come back with more information or more documentation or whatever. So that's the reason I made the appointment. So MEPS I went to December 2nd and 3rd. And then the closest appointment I could make was December 11th. So I'm like, since December 11th, you thought that I called out that day. She marked. So what they do is, like, if somebody were to call out, they'll mark them off of like the list as like a qualifier for the incentive, because they have to send that list to the payroll people who do the incentive thing. They have to send it and be like, here, this is all the people from my department who qualified. So they crossed me off the list for a day that I was there. And I'm like, my thing, where in the text? So the text doesn't say I called out, right? I sent it to you around 3:30 when my shift was over. I sent you the picture, and it's like that day. My guess is like maybe she wasn't there that day, so she just assumed that I didn't go in either. or I just didn't see her that day somehow, which isn't really likely, but I don't know. But maybe she just didn't see me, whatever. But I'm like, you could have just checked the hours. Just go back and look. Did I clock in that day? And then did I clock out early? Like, what? And then, mind you, I had been telling her, hey, December 11th, I'm leaving at like 2 o'clock, whatever. I'm leaving early because of my doctor's appointment. Dermatologist appointment, same difference. But I'm like, what? So I'm irritated because I'm like, I know that I'm please don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So then she calls me a few hours later and she was like, oh, it's a simple fix. She just has to tell the lady that like she messed up on the thing. I'm like, yeah, you better tell her right now. So she calls me a couple hours later and she's like, guess who's getting $300? I said, me. Like, that's old news. I knew that. I've actually known that for like a week now. What? I knew I'm getting $300. Like, you're telling me that as if it's like, oh, news to me. I didn't know that. Yes, I did know that. And I had to be the one to tell you that I'm getting the $300 because I was like, y'all, okay, so that's my rant. It took me 20 minutes to explain that, but it really frustrated me because, y'all, my biggest pet peeve is like, I don't know what my biggest pet peeve is. I think my biggest pet peeve, what's my biggest pet peeve for real? I really hate when people smack when they eat. I talked about all of my pet peeves in my other video, but one of my other big pet peeves is just when I know I'm right about something and people be trying to tell me I'm wrong, like, please don't do that. I know I was right. I'm not even playing a little bit with y'all. Ooh, what is this going to look like? Hold on, y'all. I'm going to turn on a light. Ooh, that's my diffuser light. Okay. It didn't do too much. But anyway, that just really frustrated me bad. So let's talk. So I talked about that. Let me give a little update on me. So, all right. Here's a little thing. Here's a little thingy thing. I was going to lock in crazy style for New Year's. And I didn't lock in New Year's Day. I talked about that in my last video. But the first Monday in January, I think it was January 5th. So I was going to lock in crazy at the gym. I had this whole plan. And I was going to also start intermittent fasting again. And I was going to stick to the whole 16-8 method that I have talked about previously. I've given it high praise recently. So I did it Monday, which was 2 days ago. And then yesterday I was like, y'all, I just decided, dropped my phone. I just decided to go back to calorie counting, and I'm technically still intermittent fasting, but I'm doing the 12-12 method, which is much easier to do. Because if you just eat dinner, like, I explained this in my previous videos, but it's much easier to do because it's like, I just stopped eating dinner at like 6:15. It's 7 o'clock now, but I stopped at 6:15 and I'm not even going to get to work in the morning until 7 o'clock. So it's like, it's very easy to do 12 hours because 8 of those hours you're sleeping. And it's like, at least 2 of those hours should be like before bed. And then maybe 2 of them after when you wake up. So it's like, that's not hard to do. The 16-8 method was arguably a lot more difficult because I would eat lunch at work and I wouldn't eat again until breakfast the next day. Oh, that was hard. So, and I did it. I did it for a full month. And I'm honestly, pat on the back to me for doing it in the first place. Because it was, it was very hard, but I was real strict about it. I wouldn't even play. Like, I would be making my own lunch for the next day. And I wouldn't even take like a tiny little bite of food. I literally didn't put a single thing of food in my mouth. I would have like Dr. Pepper Zero, Coke Zero, water, whatever, but nothing else. So I was real strict about that for a full like 28 days, 30 days, whatever. And then after MEPS, here's my thing, y'all. If I get like, I probably can like be really, really disciplined, but my problem is that among plenty of other things, but one of my problems is that, oh, now you want to respond to me? You're so annoying. Like, why is everybody responding to me at 7 p.m.? Like, all these professional people, whatever. But my problem is that if I get thrown off just for like one day, I never want to do it again. I'm like, I can't go back. Like, does that make sense? Okay, so here's what I'm saying. I did a full, like, 28 days, or I can't remember if it was, like, 28 or 30, but, like, pretty much a full month of intermittent fasting doing the 16-8 method, and I did not play. But then when I went to MEPS, I wanted to take advantage of the free food that they gave us, obviously, because I was like, it's the least you could do. So I ate dinner that night, and I wasn't able to stick to my 16-8 method. And I knew that. I gave up on it just for that one day. And then the next day, I was right back at it because I think, to be honest, I think the last time that I ate was like day 2 at MEPS. They gave us lunch at like 12. And then I think that was the last time I ate until the next day because I was on a bus or like a little shuttle for the majority of it. And then by the time I got home, it was like 11 p.m. So, and then the next day I was off work, I think. I can't remember. So it's like I slept in or something, like, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think I slept in that day, but I'm not too sure. But anyway, so that was cool. But because I had that one little slip up, I felt like I just couldn't go back. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. And then I tried. I think I did it for a couple more weeks. And then when the holidays came around, I gave myself more leeway because I was like, y'all, it's Christmas. I was like, it's Christmas Eve. I'm at work. I'll eat a little something more, whatever. And then like my grandparents are cooking, so I'm eating that. And then I'm Christmas Day, they're giving us free food. So I'm like, I'm going to eat that, take the leftovers home and eat that, whatever. Like, you know, so I just kind of gave up. And then I figured I would lock back in for the new year because not only was it Christmas Eve and Christmas Day was kind of hard. It was like, I went to like a white elephant at my best friend's house and that kind of messed me up. So I just ate that. And then for New Year's Eve, of course, went to my best friend's house again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I try not to be that guy when I'm around other people, and I try not to like make my diet or my whatever. I try to make it everybody else's problem because what I choose to do, like my eating habits, can be put aside. It's not like I have an allergy to eating past 9 p.m. You know what I'm saying? If it was like an allergic type thing, if I had to be gluten-free or something, that'd be completely different. But I just mean like, if I'm trying to have this like strict diet, I'm not going to ruin the vibe and be like, oh, I'm not going to eat because I'm just going to sit here and watch you guys eat because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like I would do it. Technically, I did that when I saw Wicked. That was also in December. When I saw Wicked, and that was before MEPS. You know what? Yeah, that's how strict I was before I went to MEPS and kind of got messed up with the whole like fasting thing. I was really strict. Like, so I was perfectly able to flow into that next day. Because here's my thing with the fasting. I'm so annoying and I'm so all over the place. But the fasting for me is like, if I'm going to do the 16-8, whatever, then I want it to be to where like every day flows into another fast. And I want it to be all together, as in like I want it to be like I eat from, let's say, 7 to 3, right? The last time I take my last bite is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And the next time I take my next bite is 7 o'clock. And then I do it all over again. So I want to keep going where the 8-hour window stays the exact same every day. 7 to 3, or whatever it may be for whatever. So I ended up doing that when I went to go see Wicked. Like, I didn't even really mean to, but by the time I started eating that morning, and the time that I ended up having dinner with my friend, my best friend, and like some other people, by the time we had dinner, it had been a perfect 8 hours. Like the moment I started it was 8 hours fully, because it was like 10. What is 8 hours? I think I ate at like 11 or something, and we stopped at 6. Is that 8 hours? Or 10 and 6? I meant something like that. Like I ate bread, and I didn't even mean to really plan it like that. I didn't really think about it. It just kind of happened, which was great. But so then we ate at Chili's, and then we saw the movie, and then we went back to Chili's with some other people that met up with us, and they got food and like mostly dessert and stuff. And I was gonna get dessert, but I changed my mind because I was like, I'm fasting. I was like, no, let me stay true. That's how strict I was. I was like, let me stay true. So it's like I can be very disciplined. Sigh. It's just not that easy. And honestly, that's why. Let me get into this. That's why I feel like I need to join the military. Because I want to be this like strict, disciplined, motivated person. But I don't think I can do it myself. Does that make sense? I think I need something behind me. You know what I mean? I need to be controlled. Is that crazy? Hello. Hold on. I was going to say something so crazy. Y'all, I don't know if this is really a safe space. I'm sorry. Can I talk? This is my YouTube channel, and I can talk about whatever I want. I'm a grown woman. I'm almost 20 years old. Whoa, by the way, that's crazy. I have an interest. I'll say this. I'm not even ashamed, actually, because there's worse things to be into. I have an interest, a bit of a leaning toward 4 letters. This is so embarrassing to say out loud and like to be posting on the internet. But I'm like, nobody watches these videos for real. Like, really, I get like 10 views if I'm lucky. So, but watch this be the one video that blows up and everybody knows how I feel about this. I kind of have a bit of an interest in BDSM. Is that crazy? Y'all, it's not crazy. Like I just said, I'm a grown adult woman. I can be into whatever I want to be into. Like, reasonably. But I have an interest in that because I think that sigh, guys. I don't have very good self-control or discipline. I need somebody else to do it for me. That's it. That's really all there is to it. Like, and not even because I feel like this is very important to note, y'all. Like, genuinely, I'm being serious. BDSM is not just about sex, okay? And another thing, I've never even had that. Thank you. So that's not really what I'm talking about. I just mean like in other aspects of my life. Have y'all ever seen Fleabag? Oh my God. Have y'all ever seen Fleabag? I'm not normal about Fleabag. I'm really not. Okay. Oh my God. What do you mean it'll pass? Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm so crazy about Fleabag. It's like not funny. But listen. Do y'all know that scene? Hello, voice. Do y'all know the scene in Fleabag where she's like, I think she's crying and she's like, I want somebody to, it's in the confessional booth. And she's like, I want somebody, oh, Jesus. She's like, I want somebody to like tell me what to wear, what to eat, what to do, what to think, what to feel. And she was like, tell me what to do, Father. Hello. Hey. Hey, how y'all doing? This is my YouTube channel. I can talk about whatever I want to talk about. But that I'm not kidding. It resonated with me in a way that I cannot explain. Okay? I'm not going to explain it. I probably could explain it, but I'm not going to. But I'm like, that's so great. I'm like dying. That scene meant so much to me for that reason and that reason only. I feel as though, and whether this is normal or not, I don't even care anymore. I done said it. I just feel like I need to be controlled all the time. What? Tell me, I need to be told what to do. I really do. And that sounds so insane to link what I'm talking about now, the 4 letters that I just said, to being the reason I'm joining the military. It's a really, really strange connection. Okay? But I'm making it. Okay? I make connections, y'all. What can I say? Call me the New York Times Games, because I'm making connections. Oh my God. I'm like so funny. So that's what I'm saying, is that I don't have in myself, I don't really have the motivation, but I'm like, the military is going to change me. And I'm like, if somebody's screaming and yelling at me, first of all, I'm going to cry. No, I'm not really going to cry. But I'm like, if somebody's screaming and yelling at me and telling me to do something, I'm finally going to do it. Like, I'm going to, like, sigh. I don't know if this even makes sense what I'm really saying. I think it does make sense, but like that's just how my brain works, is that I'm like, if somebody else is telling me to do it, I'll do it. I really feel like I'd be more motivated at the gym if I had somebody not only with me, but like yelling at me, telling me to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoa, that's like, I'm so weird. Sometimes do you ever like for real just sit there and be like, some of the things I think about are so strange and not normal at all. But then what's interesting about it is that even though you can think it's not normal, you'll find somebody who agrees with you. I can almost guarantee that, like, remember how I mentioned earlier, if this video were to go viral and everybody sees how I feel about BDSM, that I even if that were to happen, oh my God, my friend is being so annoying. Even if that were to happen, people would agree. I'm sure there'd be people that would like disagree and think I'm weird and a freak, but that's fine. Have y'all ever seen Secretary? I can't believe I didn't make that connection before the fleabag one. Have y'all ever seen... It's funny that I'm like having a key with myself and like no one else is with me right now, but I'm having so much fun just talking to my little camera. Shout out my ex-boyfriend who bought me this. I really love this gift. Okay, what am I talking about my ex-boyfriends for? But I just mean like this was a gift because for like, when did I get this? Like 2022, maybe? It might have been, I don't know, something, but I got this like years ago and I'm like really crazy about my camcorder. I do not play. I'm the camcorder friend. But anyway, the movie though, and it's like I need to have like a minute, like I need to like breathe. The Secretary, not the, it's just Secretary, came out in 2002. Maggie Gyllenhaal. First of all, that's Jake Gyllenhaal's sister. That's cute. I love that. Maggie, I don't know if she's younger or older. I feel like she would be younger. I don't know. That's just an assumption. Maggie Gyllenhaal and James Spader. Oh my God. Oh my God. And like young James Spader. Hello. Hello. There's big things happening. Real big things happening in the mixing community. Oh my God. First, no, like I can't. That was a little risky looking. Y'all, I saw this edit on TikTok. And it was really cute. It was that song, No Wind Resistance by Kinneret, where it's like, I bet you I can run faster with no wind resistance. It was that song, which I really like that song. It was that song edited to, or the movie Secretary was edited to that. And there's a part where one of the women comes into like the secretary's like office or whatever, and she passes by Maggie Gyllenhaal. What is her name in the movie? I'm bad at remembering people's like actual names in movies, but I know they're like the person usually. What's her name in the movie? Oh my God. 'Cause he like says it, doesn't he? Oh, I'm crazy. It'll hit me in a second. But anyway, this like blonde white woman walks by her and she goes, submissive. And Maggie Gyllenhaal goes, excuse me? And that edit, I wish I could like insert it into the video, but it'll probably get like copywritten for like the song that's in it. But she goes, submissive. And she's like, excuse me? And then the song goes, teach myself complete submission. Okay, that's the edit. And I wish I could explain it. It's in my reposts. Like, I don't know. But you would have to scroll down crazy far to find it. But anyway, so that is the edit that motivated me randomly. I saw it and I was like, that looks really fun and cute. I'm going to watch the movie. My eye's itching so bad. So I watched the movie. Oh God. So I watched the movie. Absolutely loved it. I loved it so bad that I watched it a second time. Like, I don't know, maybe a few weeks later. I don't know. But I love that movie down. And I'm like, who? Ow. And one of my favorite things about that is the fact that Maggie Gyllenhaal's character, which I still can't remember her name, was so like weird. And she found somebody who was weird in the exact way that she needed. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, she needed someone to get mad at her for making typos. Hello. She needed someone to... This is crazy. She needed someone to punish her for making typos. That's like, hold on, y'all. I don't like the language I'm having to use right now, but you know what I'm saying. Like, if you've seen the movie, you understand what I'm saying. He matched her freak bad. Like, they matched each other's freaks so bad. And I'm like, me win. Okay. So, I can't believe I'm talking about this. And you know what? I'm going to upload this with literally no shame because whatever, dang, I'm literally a grown adult. But anyway, so that's my tea about discipline and motivation, I guess. I just really it's like I want to be a disciplined person, but I need it to come from an outside source. So I'm thinking that the military will be that outside source for me. Until I find my James Spader. Sorry, no, that's like crazy. I need to chill. But, because, okay, I'll also say this. I kind of locked in 2026 and I started getting up way earlier than usual. I say way, it's like an hour, that's, way earlier. I started getting up at 5:30 because Okay, y'all. So I was gonna plan to start getting up at like 5 in the morning, but I was like, that's a little too much because, oh, excuse me, I leave my house at 6:30 in the morning. And I had previously been waking up at like 6:10. And it's like, that's not even really waking up because I would, what am I trying to say? I would be like driving and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so tired. And now that I think about it, it's like, yeah, because you weren't even awake. You didn't even let yourself wake up for a half hour, like a full half hour before immediately getting up, brushing your teeth, changing clothes, hitting the road. And I'm like, that can't be normal. That just can't be good. I feel like I'm going to crash my car because I'm sleep deprived, like whatever. And then I get to work and I'm tired all day because I started my day out really tired. So I started thinking, I was like, not even I thought, like, this is common sense. I think anyone in the world could probably tell you this. But I'm like, I need to just start getting up earlier so that I can give myself more time to wake up and do something. So now I get up at 5:30. I make my bed. I've been making my bed for like a while, but I make my bed. As you can see, she's made. I make my bed now, and I take my vitamins, which I've always done, but I take my vitamins. I go and cleanse my face. I don't wash my face like with soap, but I have these little cleansing pads that I use in the morning. I clean my face, or I brush my teeth, floss, like scrape my tongue, do mouthwash, all that. I have like a whole routine, obviously. And then I cleanse my face and I moisturize. And then I come back into my room and I lay on my bed and I read my book for about 15, 20 minutes. And then I change my clothes, lotion, perfume, I make sure that I have all of my, like my bag I packed my bag the night before for like the gym the next day, and I prepare my lunch in the kitchen, but I leave it in the kitchen, obviously. So then I go to the kitchen, get my lunch for that day, put it in my lunchbox. And honestly, if I have some time to kill, I'll come back into my room and like read for a little bit more or whatever. I've tried not to, for the past few mornings, I haven't like scrolled social media. That's been my thing too, is that I'm trying to stop being on social media as much. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with being on my phone, cause it's like, y'all, I bought this bad boy. I pay for it. Like, this is my phone. I'm going to be on my phone. This is an iPhone 16, not trying to flex, but I'm just saying like, this thing wasn't $20, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to use my phone. Right. But in the mornings, I've been trying not to get on social media until like way into my shift at work. So I just don't want to get up, because I would like wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is grab my phone and start scrolling, and it's like, that's not good for anybody. So I'm just trying to get away from that. So it's been working. I just get up and I do a bunch of stuff, and then I read, and then I leave to go to work. So it's like, I don't give myself time to scroll. So yeah, so that's fun. And also, while I'm doing all of this getting ready, my little soft piano music is still playing on my CD player, because I listen to that to go to bed. But I have this long, like 30-hour playlist, so it'll keep playing. And then I turn it up when I wake up in the morning so I can hear it better. And just, I like relax and like spend some time like by myself, I guess. Spend some time alone. Getting ready for, what is that? Chamber of Reflection by Mac DeMarco. Is that what that song is? I hope so. So yeah. So I've been doing that. I did it Monday, Tuesday, and today, and I plan to continue doing it. The only time I'm not going to be waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning is when I'm off the next day, because I'm off on Friday. So I'm not going to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, because I'm not going anywhere. I'm not about to go to the gym that early. Honestly, I've kind of considered it, though. I'm not even going to lie. I have kind of considered it. But I'm like, I don't know. That's not my vibe. I need to let myself sleep in when I have the opportunity, like for real. So yeah, that's my little morning routine, 2026 morning routine. I really, like, looking back, I cannot believe that I just like admitted that about myself, or that I was talking about earlier. But I think it's interesting because there is also an aspect of like, with anything that you do in life, if it's going to be something that you do or that you like, or you participate in, or you go to, or you watch, or something, no matter what it is, you realistically should do it unapologetically. Because it's like, what if something were to happen? Like, this is how I think about things, and this is why I think that being an open book is important, and like being vulnerable all the time is important, because if somebody were to find that secret, like imagine I kept that as a secret, like, oh, I'm interested, then that's the word I used. I'm interested. That's not even crazy. It's not embarrassing unless I made it embarrassing. I'm like acting like it's kind of embarrassing just because it did kind of like, I don't know, rile me up a little bit, because I was like, nobody's ever really like, I don't really talk about that crazy, but I just mean like, I'm not embarrassed by it, but I would be if I was embarrassed. So if it was a secret that I was keeping, that like, oh, I'm interested in BDSM, oh my God, burn me at the stake, whatever. If that were to be a secret and then it were to like come out and like somebody else were to have that secret about me and they were to like expose it, then I would be, imagine how devastating that would be for me if I was trying to keep that as a secret. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I feel about everything, where it's like, if I do something embarrassing, I kind of have to own it, because whether I'm embarrassed about it or not doesn't change the fact that I did it, or I liked it, or it happened, or you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, being vulnerable, I just feel like is a really big thing that it would probably help people, because everything these days, like nowadays, these like new gens, whatever, everything is embarrassing to everybody. And it's like, why though? Am I embarrassed to like BDSM? Not really. It's cool. Y'all be watching 50 Shades of Grey. And I remember when 365 Days, that's that movie with that hot Italian guy that went viral in like 2020 and everybody was tweaking bad. So I'm like, y'all do too. Let's relax. Okay. And there's plenty of other aspects that are like involved in, like, I know a lot about it because I'm interested in it, but there's plenty of other aspects that are not sexual related. Okay. So let's not act like I'm talking about something crazy. And even if it was sexual, okay, people have sex. Like what? I don't, but people do. Ugh, not me. Hashtag scared, but people do. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's very weird. Like, I just feel like if everybody was less embarrassed about stuff and just said it, like, dang, I flung my, I've been playing with my hair tie. But anyway, if everybody just said stuff, we'd probably be happier as a society. But anyway, that's my rant. I'll get back at you later. Bye guys. Thank you for watching. And honestly, like, go and watch Fleabag and watch Secretary. What else is like BDSM coded? I don't know. I can't think of anything else. I'm probably missing out. If you guys know any good BDSM related movies that isn't like, I don't want it to be like a 50 Shades of Grey type. I don't need y'all to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's whatever. No 365 Days, but give me like Secretary movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's similar to Secretary? Anything with James Spader, I'll watch it. Okay. Bye guys. Thank you for watching.